This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Well, hello and welcome to my 2021 home studio tour. So the first things first, of course, in every home you must have great security, and what I have is right up above there where I do have the Ring battery camera, spotlight battery camera. I'll leave a link down below because I've done a review on that. So that's outside to make sure that I know who's coming. There's so many great functions of that. Like I mentioned, make sure to check out the video. But without further ado, let's check out the other areas of the studio. In case you guys do not know, I'm a huge fan of the Joker and I can't fill the whole place with Joker, so I have this figurine over here together with little Buttercup who's just chilling down here. This is some of my favorite books. We have Magic from Rhonda Byrne, or however you spell it, amazing book. You have YouTube Secrets from Sean Cannell and Benji Travis, really support them because they are tech YouTubers themselves. Steven Gerrard, the ultimate best captain that Liverpool ever have. No disrespect to Jordan Henderson. Pepe, which is my second favorite keeper from Liverpool. The first one has to be Alisson Becker, of course. And there's an interesting story of this. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a huge fan of Joker. So this is one of the latest Joker comics. It's called The Three Jokers. This is all the color or all the covers for it. Instead of just buying three, I bought all. So yeah, I spent quite an amount of money on that. The next thing I'm actually going to go through is this marble table. Now this marble table was custom made because it was hard for me to find the exact size. So I actually got the marble console table to be done in a very custom made fashion. So I'll leave links down below in case you guys want to get that. This was not supposed to be mask because I bought it before the whole COVID-19, but look at the amount of masks that we have there. I have my wallet here, which of course, the minimalist wallet. I didn't do a review on this, obviously. I don't know how people do it. It's all the important cards like Fitness First, the best gym on planet Earth. I like Hoga because Hoga has one of the best smells. Need to top this up as well. I have the Huawei Mediapad M6 right in front here because I have a smart home feature and it has a keyboard, so this is also work as my teleprompter and where I'll be showing you guys in the studio as well. Moving forward, just before that, Mr. Joaquin, who is my Leopard Gecko, I've actually did a video with him in it when I did my desk setup. This is his setup. Now he was actually grown in a very small container because I got it from a breeder. So now he has like a huge bungalow, who I mentioned, few different caves. He's actually potty trained, so it's disgusting, but you can see that his shit is there. He is nocturnal, so he's sleeping right now, so I don't want to disturb him. Now speaking of custom made, I also got this particular area, similar custom made like this one over here. And then looking right on top, there is a mirror from IKEA. You will see a whole IKEA theme here. And no, I'm not being sponsored by IKEA, but yeah. Moving forward to my little kitchen. Now, keep in mind that every single thing in the studio or my home studio was done from scratch except for the built-in cabinet. So it came with a built-in cabinet. And I wanted to make sure that since there is a space for the fridge, it was not too small or not too big. So I got this Samsung Twin Cooling Plus, an amazing fridge. I'm not going to open it because you'll see only ice cream and chocolates all the way. So that's what I love to eat. I got this from Shopee. Very interesting way to actually kind of get everything all nice and dried because I have very limited space at the kitchen area. And I have to give huge props towards this. This is definitely a life changer. I've actually done a review video because this is the LG Puricare, an amazing water filtration system. I've done so much of information that you can actually check out in the video. It has ambient mode. There's also the cold, instant cold water. It's a tankless water purifier, so which means that you don't have any bacteria built up down there. And it has like volume adjustments, so you can actually get like 120 ml, 500 ml and 1000 ml. And also there's even different temperatures of hot as well. Like there's up to 85 degrees to get a nice hot coffee. We have my trusty bottle. Got this from Typo. And then I have a pot here to pretend like I'm cooking, but I don't most of the time. And then we have a huge situation because my coffee is finished. Anyone who is watching who want to sponsor me coffee, just pass it over. MCT oil for weight management. For me, I don't really look at it as a weight management thing. For me, I think it's great to actually mix it with coffee. Sugar, because life needs to be sweet, so I have to have lots of sugar. And of course, my cookies, the Chinese New Year cookies, the pineapple touch is amazing. And I can't live without Milo. Have to have some Milo. This Samsung microwave is really great because it has so many functions besides it being white color, because you know I love my whole white color items. It is really good. It has so many functions. I can get like my frozen pizza, just recook it, and there's so many great functions. I did not do a review video on this because it does not make sense for me to do it in my channel. I'll try to link the microwave down in the description below, so yeah, check it out. Now this also is from IKEA. Had to get something which is white color theme and cheap at the same time because the unit does not belong to me, it's on rental. First things first, we have the Nest. Now this is the first version, so this is not a Google Nest. It was before Google bought over a Nest. Now what happens is that when I'm at home, it used the geolocation to kind of turn it off so they don't capture me otherwise if I'm not at home. So this is the Logitech Harmony, one of my favorite items because it's a smart remote. I hardly use it, but because I control the Logitech Harmony together with the hub. So this is the hub and I can do smart home functions like this. So this is my Amazon Echo Dot. For example, if I said turn on hall fans.
Okay.
Turning off, I just said turn off hall fans.
I don't know that one.
Turn off hall fans.
Okay.
And then this is the Huawei Mediapad Pro. Now I use this to connect with my speakers, which I've done a review on that. I'm going to go a bit later on that, where I do have my Tidal playlist, so I can actually play music over here and to kind of go through. So I have like my buddy Mo's favorite artists, and then we have Billie Eilish, K-Ton Clan, this weird band called Dragon Raid, and Disturbed, Seven Dust, and all this stuff. So it is more like my dedicated music player if I'm not using this for any other reasons. This does not have Google Play, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to do that. This is a very handy tool for creators to kind of give me that sort of motivation. 51,100 subscribers, thank you so much, although it's not how I expected to be because the amount of work that we put into it, but I truly appreciate 51,100 people who wants to see my content, so thank you so much. This is my go-to when it comes to smart home for controlling my icons. This is the Sensibo Sky, and I think that this is the best when it comes to controlling your AC because not only has app integration, I've also done a review video on that, and then you have like a little USB hub and also to charge. This is for the Samsung Galaxy Watch. Moving forward, I've done the audio setup. This is my audio setup, so I'll leave a link down below for you guys to check it out as well. Again, in a nutshell, I'm using the Air Pulse from Edifier together with the Pro-Jet vertical turntable, all in a white theme, and together with the Kelana Jaya frame, because here is Kelana Jaya and it's my hood, raised in Kelana Jaya. And speaking of which, this minimalist looking kind of clock is actually by IKEA, and I just went there recently, but it's not in stock anymore, so that's quite sad because I wanted to get one more, but yeah. Now my vinyl collection is very metal and some hip hop here and there. Like I have Tremonti, I've got Issues, not I have got Issues, but the band Issues. I got Khalid, Korn's first album. I have Logic. I'm a huge fan of this album. So yeah, all of this, and Chris Cornell, the best vocalist on planet Earth. Now another thing is that I have the yoga mat. Is by the best yoga brand in the world, which is Lululemon. And I have the Oculus Quest over here, which I usually play around this area, similar like what I've done. So I've done a review on this too, so make sure to check out at the link below. And you have some blocks in order for me to do more body weight exercises and yoga related exercises. Speaking of exercises, a lot of y'all know that I actually work out. I do not usually have this whole equipment, but because when we had the second lockdown or MCO version 2.0, I had to get this equipment, and then once Fitness First opened again, I actually went back to Fitness First as well. So yeah, I'm actually very proud. Now, before I go into the living room, I just also want to tell a backstory about this dining table. Now, I originally wanted to keep it minimal. I wanted to have my food only to be done at the coffee table, but this was my previous unboxing table, and I have some scratches all over, so I'm just putting it here as my dining table, and it has rollers, so when I want to watch TV I just roll it, and that way I won't have to worry about watching TV and having food at the same time. Now, as for my little living room setup or my TV area, I have the LG Nanocell TV, which is one of the videos which still get a lot of comments until today. And in case you guys are watching that video and coming back to check out this video, I can tell you that this TV has no issues whatsoever. I've been loving it. It's the best TV from LG, which is not an OLED TV, but it's really great. I'll leave a link down below because that video is still getting a lot of views and it's an amazing TV. I have the LG, of course, the OS run, but I have the Amazon Fire Stick. I have the Google Chrome, and also the TV comes in built in together with Apple TV. So I can really stream my devices if I'm using a MacBook Pro, or if I'm using an iPhone and an iPad, you can actually go it. And that's how I usually kind of stream most of my content through, from the laptop as well. But all in all, this is an amazing TV, and of course, with a TV you need a great surround system. And as you guys know, that I have been reviewing a lot of great stuff from Sonos. I have the Sonos Arc, which has Dolby Atmos, also did a video review on that. I did not do a review video on the Sonos Sub because I don't think that it kind of made sense for me to do a video based only on the Sub, but it complements very well. When I put in the Sub, the overall audio quality kind of put in all the bass into the Sub and gives you better vocal clarity. Now you can see this little box here. This white box is actually the Linksys mesh system that I have around the whole entire area. I can show you one is inside the studio. The TV cabinet is the Besta unit from IKEA. It originally comes with a non-glossy white finish, but I went with a glossy white finish because I like the whole white color theme, as I mentioned earlier. So inside here we have all the wires and stuff which I don't want to show you all. We also have my favorite plants. Now my plants are all named after the Money Heist characters. So this is Denver, this is Stockholm, and this is Nairobi. As you can see that the place looks very clean most of the time because thanks to this very lovely equipment. Now I know it's overkill. It's like, why do you have 3 vacuums, Adam Lobo? Well, the first one is the Vax Blade. Now this one I kind of put in the floor once, so which means that the floor module. So I use this specifically to vacuum the floor or hard surfaces. And my Dyson V11 Absolute is going on the carpet because I find that the Dyson V11 works very well on carpet. So it's nice to have a dedicated vacuum for the carpet. I have the Spotless Go from Vax also. Because the one battery system is great for me to change between both devices. And I also have another smaller, one of the latest version, the mini version, which works almost the same as the Dyson V11, which comes with a even affordable price. And I like that a bit more because it has like a light at the end of the hole, which I think is kind of good. And over at this area, to complement the whole surround system, I have the Sonos One. Now this is the One SL, which means that it does not come with a smart home speaker system. It's a great audio surround system to kind of complement my overall rear speaker. And this is Rio. This is the Amazon Fire Stick remote, and this is the Google Chromecast remote. It's great to have both, just in case I can do all the voice functions and stuff. And you'll find this quite consistently during the whole place of the whole house and studio, which is this fella. This is so important for my daily life because I'm the kind of person who gets migraine very often, so I just like tight, yeah. So now, as I mentioned that, you know, the place came in empty, so I had quite a hard time trying to, you know, choose the couch or the sofa. But I went with IKEA again because of its functionality. I like the whole storage compartment down here. I'm not going to show you what's inside. There might be something which you don't want to see. I got all of these custom-made cushions made, like this marble and all, which I kind of got in on Shopee. And then there is the other Sonos One SL, where it is on the stand. So it's both on the sides and stand instead of mounting it on a wall, because this is the perfect height. So if you are choosing between mounting the speakers, although it looks nicer to mount the speakers, but I would recommend from an audio level, because like for example, when you sit, even when the person sits here, it's in a perfect level for you to actually listen to the rear speaker. Speaking of which, we have the Dyson Lightcycle, my favorite light of all time. Now it follows the color temperature based on the environment that you're in, or also at the same time follows the color temperature based on the timing. So like right now, since it's about 2 o'clock, it's following the 2 o'clock lighting, and later on when it's about 7 p.m, it will actually go into a warmer white tone. And it's also motion sensor, so which means that, you know, at night when I'm walking up and down, you can actually turn it off within 2 or 3 minutes or so, which I think is great for what exactly it has to offer. It's touch controllable, and it has a USB-C port also, where I have my wireless charger over there. And of course, when it comes to using the Sonos speaker system on the go, this is my favorite, the Sonos Move, which I've also done a review down below, similar to what I've done also for the Dyson Lightcycle. I've done a review on that as well. One thing before we go away from the living room, I just want to mention about this particular marble tabletop. It was my very first time buying a furniture from Shopee, so I was a bit skeptical, but it came in great. Quality is great. And now this centerpiece is actually a marble clock, which I thought it would be cool to do here. Now when I do my first impressions video, when I review the smartphones and stuff, I usually shoot it here because it has a nice natural daylight together with the blinds, which was custom made as well. Now this is one of my favorite smells again, so Olga, if you're watching, call me. So yeah, I just love all the smells, and this is something which I got from Amazon, which is a minimalist cards. I hardly play cards, but this is a great prop to use when I use from background. So like that day when I was, for example, just say I'm reviewing the Xiaomi Mi 11, and I have, the 11 cards, which is, K1 and whatever. So yeah, I love this. This is great, and it feels very nice to actually kind of play on as well. Now it's time for me to go to a place where the real magic happens, which is my studio. Check it out. The story about this place is that it was supposed to be a 2-room condo or a residential area, where I had a smaller room, which is a study room, and also a bigger room, which is this particular place, which is the master bedroom. So instead of me using this room to sleep, I've actually converted it to be my studio, since I shoot and edit my videos more than I sleep. So yes, I'm going to run through the setup because this is something which I never shared, especially on YouTube. I kind of did it on Shopee Live, so let's just go through everything. Again, everything will be linked down below, okay? In terms of the camera gears, I don't do camera gear reviews. Hopefully, I will be doing soon if I have the time. But this is the quick run through on what exactly I use. Now, the first thing that I have is, of course, the Aperture 300D. This is actually bouncing up on the ceiling. So it creates the nice soft lighting to kind of illuminate the whole area. So it's on a very cheap stand, which I don't recommend. I think that, if you're going to get a stand, you should get a better quality stand. But since it's always, always on the stand and it's stagnant, I don't move it about. So that's why I don't mind using this. But I am planning to get a better stand. This is the other Linksys modem, which I mentioned. So this is to get a better internet connection over here. I have a wired connection also, but for me, having Wi-Fi is still a better option. Now this is a brand new area which I kind of created. Before this, it was actually an empty place where I used to put all my cameras over here, but because with the whole live streaming and stuff, especially on Shopee and any video calls, I have this as my setup. I have the MacBook Pro, this is the 2015 variant, and it's connected with the Sony A7Siii, which my buddy Mo is using right now to record this video, and a Switchpod. Huge shout out to Caleb for creating an amazing item. And of course, just next to the Switchpod, I have the Sonos 5, which is one of the latest speakers that I finally got my hands on and reviewed. And I have the Aftershokz Aero Packs, which is what I use when I do my video calls, because the audio quality is great. And it's nice that, you can hear your surrounding at the same time. And that is what I use for my audio. I need to get a USB mic soon, so I will be getting soon. And then this is my workhorse, my bread and butter, the Blackmagic 6K camera with the 18 to 35 T 2.0 is the cinema lens, and it has the Fieldwell Master. I used to use the Atomos Ninja, but the Atomos Ninja is currently being repaired because I had some issue. But yeah, this is something which I feel is very important for creators. This is my leveler because the built-in leveler inside the camera is just okay. So this is like your old school leveler, which I really like. And a lot of people ask, why did I get the cinema version instead of the photo version? you will see a definite optical difference when you put it in on a 6K sensor as opposed to a 4K sensor. So if you have a 4K sensor, just use the photo version, which is way much cheaper than this version. I just love the build quality. I love how you can focus pull, and the iris is also connected over here. Now, like I said, I don't do camera gear reviews, but you know, if you want to check out camera gear reviews, you should check out my buddy ZY Productions because he actually is currently having my Blackmagic Atem Mini, and yeah, and that is what I usually use for my few different setups when it comes to what exactly that I have. And this is my two very favorite walls that I have. First, this one has all my lenses. I don't have so many lenses because I tend to use this most of the time. I have this was borrowed from Lens Library, which is the Sigma MC11. It connects the E mount to EF mount, since all of my lenses are EF mount. Speaking of which, one of the most underutilized lens is actually the Sigma 50-100. It's really good, but they are very much limited space if I want to use the 100mm, because I have to literally, like, you know, go away from the product as well. I have my favorite YouTuber of all time, Peter McKinnon. His ND filter, this is the 82mm to fit in with this lens, which is the Sony A7Siii. By the way, I'm using the 16-35G Master f2.8 in case you guys are wondering. And yes, it's the Sony A7Siii which my buddy Mo is actually shooting. So we have the 82mm to actually fit in within that lens, and also this particular lens. So I have the two stops, one's the 2 to 5 stop and the other is the 6 to 9 stop to kind of get a better shallow depth of field without overexposing the image when it comes to having outdoor shots. In terms of lenses, I have the 55. This is my very first Sony lens that I bought. I have the Tokina 11-16. This is for the really ultra wide angle shots. It kind of reminds me when I had to go to the Dyson office in Singapore. I got the opportunity to see the audio chamber, and the audio chamber was really great, and I had to have a really wide focal length, and I had to use the 11, and it was really great to really cover the overall experience over there. This is also another lens by the great guys from Lens Library. It's the 35mm, which is a Sony E-mount system. So thank you, Jay and Lens Library, for always being awesome when it comes to renting the lenses as well. I have two USB-C cables, which the ones which I use. Obviously I have more, but I did not want to put too many over there. Other than that, I have another underutilized lens which has image stabilization, apparently 24mm, but I put it on the Blackmagic, I can't see any difference. And then I have my very first lens that I bought even before I started YouTube, which is the Canon 50mm. So although I don't use it, I'm not planning to sell it because it's my very first lens. I have the Boya Microphone, which I use it on the go when I have vlogging situations where, you know, before the COVID hit, it was fine. And the Rode Wireless Go item is here, including the dongle for me to connect this with a smartphone. So I have it right now, so all the audio that you hear right now is actually by the Rode Wireless Go, which I bought it for my buddy ZY as well. Okay, finally, I'm going to kind of show you this particular wall, the charging wall that I kind of created. First and foremost, I have the very expensive Sony CF Express A card reader, which also reads the normal SD card, but it's super expensive, but the build quality is kind of good lah, okay? So I have the Syrup Genie Mini. This is connected via Wi-Fi through the app, Bluetooth via the app, and then I have the Sony batteries. This is the one which is have the indicator. I couldn't find it in Malaysia, so I had to get someone who was staying in the US to come down to Malaysia and buy it because they don't ship batteries. You know how with the whole situations. Down here I have another Genie Mini which can connect together, where I can do the pan and tilt shots. I hardly use it, to be completely honest. I have so many NP batteries, the Sony NP batteries. That's the reason why I have two chargers. I have one is the Sony double charger, so there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is a Canon charger, which of course the Blackmagic uses the Canon LPE6 batteries for that. So this is my charging station and also my lens wall. Now moving on to my lighting system. For my key light, I'm using the Aputure 120D. Now this is also a very special purchase which my buddy ZY, again I'm mentioning him so many times, he actually had an event in Singapore. I think it was an Aperture event, and I told him to help me buy. So he literally lugged this whole 120D together with the Light Dome 2, and he brought it a huge bag and had to come back to KL to get it. So I love you, buddy. Thanks a lot for helping me to make a purchase over there. The reason why, because he kind of could get a good deal for it, so I got it from him. In terms of my YouTube setup, this is what you don't see. You usually see this over here, and come into frame. So my buddy Mo, hello. You can see that this is what you see. So usually I will kind of sit. So I'll just kind of go through the whole recording process. My audio is a Sennheiser MKH416P48 shotgun microphone, and it goes through the Sound Devices Mix Pre 3. This is a really good audio interface, which I don't even EQ my audio much. So I kind of connect it externally, and it's recorded on an SD card at the back. And it's powered with a USB-C to go through with a charger. Okay, so in terms of the camera setup, I have another Blackmagic. So that Blackmagic is recording my A-rolls, and this thing is a teleprompter. So yeah, I do read off the teleprompter because it's basically for me to make sure that I get all the facts correct, especially with so many cameras for smartphones. You need to get the exact megapixel, you need to get the exact aperture value and all the kind of information is very important. So down here I have another, this very important, like I said. And this was given to a friend who is an artist, musician, artist, his name is Shamil. It calls Sinus Relief, where again is another tight. So yeah. Then I have this to actually control the aperture lighting. So if I actually turn this off, you actually kind of turn that off as well. Now I'm just going to go through a very quick run through on how exactly I shoot. So the first thing I do is that I kind of press the button, the record button is right on top, and then it records. The best part about Blackmagic is, of course, you have the rate indicator to show it's recording. And then I have my trusty old white balance card, which both me and Mo has to live with, because we can't live without this. And then I will sit and make sure that I'm on frame. So usually I'm already on frame based on this. I will press the record button, and then I will show my white balance to make sure that Mo and I kind of get the white balance and focus, because there is focus peaking, as you can see at the screen area. And then I will just to sync audio, and I go like, hey guys, Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV, and you're watching this show of the behind the scenes. See, when I don't have teleprompter, I cook up some stuff. So yes, use a teleprompter if you don't want to be like me, and I still make mistakes like how you have been seeing. So yeah, this is the overall setup when it comes to how I shoot my videos, and this is how the behind the scenes works as well. After that is done, I actually stop the recording first of the camera, and then I actually stop this. And then I take out the SSD, which is the Samsung T5 SSD, and also the SD card at the back of the Mix Pre 3, and I put it on the setup, and I kind of get it done when it comes to my edit. So this TV is actually the Hisense TV. Ever since I got the LG TV, I kind of put it over here. It is not really meant to only monitor, but since I had an extra TV, and it's still a very good TV by itself, which I've also done a review. I'll put it down in the description below. Now, this is what I monitor to make sure that, you know, other than the monitor in front of the camera, I also have this. And then thanks to the guys from 3 Dots Distribution, they kind of loaned me the Jib one for me to try from Adelchrome as well. I'm still testing it out because I've been very busy, and the thing is quite huge, so it takes a while for me to kind of set it up. But in the meantime, all my pan and tilt shots has been done with this, the Syrup Genie. This is the first generation, and I also have another one where I can use it for the tilt axis. So what I do is that I kind of take the head off and I put this on, so I have both the pan and also tilt. And I use a Syrup Genie, which we can't find here in Malaysia. I had to get it online as well. I have another underutilized item, which is the DJI Ronin S. Thank God Mo has his own gimbal to actually help me out when it comes to those gimbal type of shots. And I have the Panasonic G85, which is my favorite camera to use when it comes to photos. It does not have the highest megapixel point, but it uses this lens, which I also got it from the guys from Lens Library, which is the Zeiss Otus 1.4. I love this lens a lot. The quality is just immaculate, but the only issue that I have is that the fact that the focal distance, you need to be really quite far. So it's not something where, although it's a macro lens, you you need to really go quite far. But that is a small compromise than having this lens. So thank you Lens Library again for, you know, getting me to rent this lens. And for my slider of choice, I'm using the Syrup Magic Carpet slider, which uses this Syrup Genie system. Put it over here, put my camera, use the app, and I can use it to kind of control as well. I have this overhead lighting. This is from Falcon Eyes. This is just to give me the hair light. Obviously, a hair light would be better if it's really on top, like how, you know, a lot of other tech YouTubers or YouTubers in general do it. But I kind of put this just to kind of illuminate my hair a bit, my white color hair. And I also have a little backstory about this little wall over here, where we have the Netflix Ice Maker. This is a item which I got when I went for the event when I interviewed Ryan Reynolds. And then looking down here, we have Atem. This is also part of it. And I have my Under Armour caps here, which I use as a prop, or even when, during MCO when the barbers were not around, I was actually wearing the cap. So I have one black, one in white. And usually whatever reviews that I'm doing, so currently I'm reviewing the Xiaomi Mi 11. So I have that now as my daily driver to test out the phone. I will usually put that here so that in the frame you can see it is available there. So I put it here, you can see it in the frame. And I have another Sensibo to control the aircon, which I did not show you all. So I'm going to show you all. Turn off studio room AC.
Okay.
So Amazon Echo is over at that area. So yeah, this is what I like. And of course,
Echo is usually defined as the repetition of a sound resulting from reflection.
stop. And then finally, we have to talk about this particular club, which is doing very bad this season, which is my beloved Liverpool. No matter what, it's still up here, because you know what they say, if you don't support us when we are losing or draw, don't support us at all. I still have it here, still love Liverpool no matter what. Alright, so I've done a review video on what exactly that I did and have on my desk setup over here. So I'll link it down below for you guys to check it out. And I usually have my daily driver smartphone. So currently for the Android, if I'm not using a phone to review, I'm using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, and I'm also using the iPhone 12 mini as my iOS device to kind of make sure that, every single update, like the latest iOS devices, and also to use Apple TV and Apple AirPlay on the LG TV, as I mentioned earlier. I got this custom-made notebook from Garmin when I did an event, and I have this amazing pen which the ink is running off from Dyson. This is a really good pen, and it's not available on sale, but I really appreciate that. In terms of the whole setup, it is still running on the MacBook Pro 2017 model, and it is slowly getting a bit slow, so time for me to upgrade, because since I shoot and edit in 6K resolution, thank God for Blackmagic RAW, otherwise means I think, it's going to be very hard for me to edit. So both me and Mo has no issues when it comes to editing those footages because of Blackmagic RAW. So the whole setup is the same. I still have my Amazon Echo available on the left, and also the Google Home Hub also on the right. Speakers are all also the same. Even the chair is the same as well. Okay, so based on my video production that I do on YouTube, a lot of people will ask me, hey, did you go for like certain classes? Well, technically I did it, but it was not like physical classes, because I learned all the skills that I have when it comes to interior designing, which you saw the whole minimalist setup, and also my overall camera or the video production from the great guys of this video sponsor, which is Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes from video creation, photography, interior design, and more. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner or even a pro, you can learn everything within your interest. Now, what's nice is that most classes are under 60 minutes, so it fits well to any schedule, even for a very busy person like me. And my top 3 favorites are lessons from Christopher Rhodes, aka YC Imaging, which is a fellow YouTuber who has a course on video on a budget. I also loved Emily Henderson's Style Your Space for all the interior designing tips, as mentioned earlier, and Rachel Gulota and Daniel Inskip's DIY product photography. Now, the first 1,000 of my subscribers, which is you, who click at the description, will get a free trial of the premium membership. So yes, instead of typically watching a lot of movies and binging on shows, check out Skillshare to get more information, to kind of train your mind to learn something new. So as I mentioned, that this was originally supposed to be a master bedroom, which I converted into my studio before I moved to a bigger place, which might be really soon. So where does Adam Lobo sleep then? Well, let's check out the sleeping pod. At the living area, you saw this huge sliding door. Now this always reminds me of the show Saw. In case you all did not know, did not see it, you must watch Saw now, where it's like a sliding door, where he said, game over. Game over. So this is what I have. Welcome to my sleeping pod. So yes, this is the place where I sleep, this tiny little tatami Japanese kind of style of sleeping way. Now this is the most cleanest room. Why? Because I have not one, but two Dyson air purifiers inside this room. So one is actually over at this area. You can see that I have the Dyson Pure Cool Me, which actually gives me nice blowing air right next to my face, and I have the Dyson TP04, which is the tower fan, to really purify the whole place. Now I have the Linksys hub also available over there, and also the Google Home, and also have Amazon Echo. Now this actually helps me to kind of turn on and off, turn on the AC. So like for example, if I said turn off sleeping pod lights,
Okay.
so it turns off the lights, and of course I have the house lights which can always turn on and off accordingly. And yes, again, before I sleep, this is consistent during my whole entire journey of being at home. So what I do is that after this is done, I will just turn off the lights. So let me just turn it on so I can shoot the B-rolls later. Turn on sleeping pod lights.
Okay.
Okay, now if you guys want to see me do like a in-depth smart home tour on what are the exact items that I use, let me know at the comment section below, then I will do that. Alright, so that's my whole studio tour slash my home place where I actually sleep as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, thank you so much Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to hit to the link down below. My name is Adam Lobo, and if you like this video, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so. My name is Adam Lobo, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.